Alright, we've got Segatron in slot 1, Brad in slot 2, well, hopefully, I can get a run going today. Hey Jessica, welcome on in. You, renamed yourself? I noticed in Gray's chat earlier, somebody talking to you, and I was like, that might be the same person, but I wasn't sure until now. Well, welcome on in. Starting early today. I had the night off, I got good sleep, so let's see if we can put in some runs. I mean, it is your name, your identity, so whatever you'd like it to be. Nice crit from Max. Bob. Mage power. The mages did 60 damage to that ghoul. Hey Sharploon, welcome on in. Hopefully we'll get up to the lava again today, but we won't be eating any. Alright, we got our first point of luck today. On Brad. That is true, people do take offense to everything nowadays. So yeah, yesterday's run was a pretty good one. It wasn't perfect by any means, but, you know, there was a chance for me to get like 2.5 minutes off the world record yesterday. But Kraken2 said no. Hey Irate Moogle, welcome on in. Thanks for the good luck. Yesterday's run was pretty lucky. We got a first round Bane on Tiamat. The XP grind was terrible, but most of the rest of the run went pretty well. I lost a lot of time on the XP grind. I mean, I lost my main black mage right before the eye fight. Then the eye instantly killed my other black mage as soon as the fight started. And that's how the eye grind went. It didn't. Then the Agma grind was very painful. I got crit a bunch. The black mage died slightly early. But in the end, it ended up working out until Kraken 2 said no. Kraken 2 still doesn't have a very high kill percentage. You know, it's about the same as Garland. A little less. That's a pretty good start to a run. We got ourselves a sub-6 ship split by over 20 seconds. Yeah, Kraken does Kraken things. I mean, he's always, ever since I started running this game, he has always been the main guy who kills, like, good runs. Hey Kaz, welcome on in. And alright, we'll throw Kaz onto the team. And there's going to be many run attempts today. I got up nice and early for it. Terrible damage so far. 17 damage done. Holy cow. Let's try that again. I've done more damage to the bottom ogre than top. Alright, Max soloed bottom ogre. Can we get luck on a mage? Thank you. Alright, one fighter, one mage have luck. That's acceptable. I prefer it when it's top fighter and bottom mage have luck. This just means I have to do a small swapping of the fighters later on. Not a huge deal, just a slight inconvenience. Not very good damage on this Kroger. There we go. That saved it. Bottom ogre's definitely going to live. No, not poverty. We are one ogre above that. But it's close. We'll see how the Kaizakus treat us. I'm hoping to see 3. Alright, there's 3. Can we kill them? 1 turn, please. Nice, good job, Brad. Now the mage's turn. Can we get both of them to do 50? Yes. Max, don't let us down. Good fight. So we were a little short on money because we only fought 3 Kaizakus. But that's fine, because we're quick. I'd rather be quick. So I'm only going to be 2 heal potions short, which isn't that bad. This is a good start to the run. 2 Kaizakus is fine. As long as we get a double ogre in the next fight. Okay, we need 14 from Segatron. Which is pretty much as long as he hits, he'll do 14. Low HP on Segatron, good HP on Brad. Which works out because I plan on putting Brad in slot 1 anyways. Alright, do we get 2 ogres here? Or are we going to be a little short on cash? 2 ogres. Nice critical hit. Morning, Carbo. Welcome on in. Thanks for the good luck. So far, I really like our start. I should have given the weapon to Segatron instead of Brad. Oh well. I forgot. I can switch it up in the menu, it's fine. Good elf man. This is a start where I could have a sub 20 crown time. depending on how quickly we actually get through the Marsh Cave. I need 13 more damage. Nice. We got to save an ice spell. That is amazing. Every extra spell we have can be quite helpful. My mages have excellent HP. Max is at maximum. Bob is 2 under max. And our luck is acceptable. Maximum luck on Brad. And 1 luck on Max. Which puts Brad at puts Max at 12 luck. Well, hopefully we only get 2 wizards. Morning, Northbricks. Welcome on in. Thanks for the luck. I need to double heal here. Unfortunate that the first encounter already ate up 2 of my 8 heals. Hopefully we quickly get away from everything else and I don't have to use up every heal potion I've got. Man, they're just pummeling my mages. Every attack, except for that critical hit, hit both of my mages. Guys, you know that you're very likely to target Brad, right? I don't know why my mages are getting pummeled. Fighters got a higher chance to be targeted than both mages combined. Oh boy, I'm almost out of heals already. In fact, if we don't take any more damage, which of course we just did, I will have 0 heals left before the wizards. So I really can't afford to take any more damage. Alright, Max is not going to be full for the wizard encounter. Neither is Segatron. We just got beat up. Our time was really good. Then we touched Marsh Cave, and it just plummeted. I have 2 heals. Heal you and you. Goodbye, time. I'll miss you. We got 2 wizards. Good start. Scary hitting Max, but it's okay. Ooh, buddy. Critical hit on Brad is terrible. My mages did good damage, but my fighters did nothing. Max, I'm going... The wizards did not cooperate. They hit my mages twice and crit my fighter. If we kill him before he goes... No, this run has very little chance of surviving. Brad, I'm saving my ice to try to hit level 5. I have no heals. That was such a bad marsh cave. Alright. I doubt we can make it out of here. But we'll try. Every part of the marsh cave was bad. Every encounter either ambushed me or did a ton of damage to me. Until those last two. I came in with almost maximum supplies. I was only 2 heal potions down from max supplies. It was just really painful. I only got poisoned 3 times, which is surprising. No crawls. Well, we have a chance. It's not a very good chance, but we have a chance. I still have 1 ice spell? 2, okay. Hey lackeys, welcome on in, and thanks for the Prime sub. I don't think we're hitting level 5. Thanks for the luck. We're gonna need some major luck to beat Asos here. If I can hit 5, we have a chance. How much XP do we need? 5. We need 5 XP. If this is a solo ogre. Okay, we have a chance. It's up to Brad to do enough damage. 18. There we go, 60. 65, we can end it in 1 hit from Brad. He can easily do 35. Exactly. Okay. We have a chance. It's not a very good one. And we didn't gain any luck. So what we need Asos to do is start off with a melee attack, and then we need Brad to double attack and hopefully get a critical hit. $11 damage is okay. Ooh, that's not okay, but we got a melee. Come on, guys. Ineffective. We have a chance. We're at 31. 68. Okay, a melee is good. There we go. Okay, we got this. We got this. Brad, finish him. It's okay. We tried. We got another round. Well, somehow we're still in this. That's why I went for level 5. I lost some time compared to what I could have done, but that's okay. If this is a double I run. Hey Nebra, welcome in. I mean, it is not common to beat Asos with only 2 characters. It can happen. It's just rare. I killed enough ogres. Technically, this is the ideal outcome. Technically, for speed, this is our best... the best thing that could have happened. Because it's technically better to only have 3 people. For the earth dive. Because the less people you have to tell to flee, technically the faster it is. But it's scarier because we have less people. And I'm also running away from all these encounters instead of fighting them. I will still fight a couple. That gold is because I literally ran from every single encounter. Which is very rare. Good preemptive luck, too. So I'm ahead of my goal time now. I was hoping to see an Arsahag, but we'll take what we get. Really, Brad? Max did all the heavy lifting. It's okay. I'm wasting $100 there. But I'm doing it for speed. Because if I take that in, then I get 2 more lit 2s, which will help out my next 2 fights. I'm surprised. This is the first run of the day. Right after yesterday's run made it all the way up to Kraken 2. Beep beep. So yeah, now that I have lit 2, I can just lit 2 this encounter. Alright, Max, take them both out. My inventory will be a little bit messy. My funds will probably be a little short. Ideally, I have at least $4,000 after this menu. That's how much I'd like to have. I'm not gonna have that much. Oops, don't buy. But honestly, we're looking pretty good. You know what? Let's do something wild. Beep beep. I'm gonna just purchase more items here. Talk about a traffic jam. NPCs, beep beep. $12. $18. Do I call that good? It's a little light on pures, but it could save me for the rest of the game. Yesterday I didn't have to buy any more pures after here, and I was good. Let's just see what happens. I'm gonna have plenty of heals for Earth Cave. So assuming I do make it past Lich, I can save time by buying less pures at Crescent Lake. Because normally I buy a bunch of heals at Crescent Lake. But if I can buy more in this shop, that's better. Because it's faster to buy heals here than at Crescent Lake. Because there's less items in the item shop to be loaded. It's not a huge amount of time difference. But, you know, each of those extra frames adds up when you're sitting here buying like 50 heals. So I decided to sell my copper bracelet early. I almost messed up my steps. I didn't, but I almost did. So yeah, I'll lose some time here because I bought a lot of extra heals. But that's fine. I'll make up that time later on by needing to buy less heals. And we're still ahead of my goal time, so that's what matters. Good dwarves. They all stayed out of the way. I have 43 heals. That is double what I have in a lot of runs. Good turn order. I need 40 damage out of Brad. Can you do it, Brad? You've got the silver knife, and you miss. I technically have a minute of time save in this split if everything goes well. Hey Hilt, welcome on in. Almost enough from Segatron. Sucks we didn't take out the bull in one round, but it's okay. It happens. It's easier to one-round it after I get the coral sword, and it's also easier if I had a second mage alive. So I should hit level 7 on Brad and Max after Vampire, or the Wizards, after the Wizards probably. That's bad. 7 of 8 maximum gargoyles, and an ambush. Goodbye time, goodbye heals. It's only cost me like 2 heal potions, but still. Bat, you stay right there, you're in a good spot. Good, Bat. I didn't want to see that poison. Double poison even. If we get double poisoned like that more often, I will run out of heals. So we need to not get double poisoned anymore. Ideally, you don't get poisoned at all, or only once per encounter. Having pretty bad luck in this Earth Cave dive. That's a 50% ambush rate that I've had. When I should only get ambushed 12% of the time. Okay guys, you don't have to murder Max. Hey Flacken Time, welcome on in. And if you'd like to go back to sleep, go back to sleep. Beep beep. I'm not gonna talk any different though. Okay, bats. Play nice. Beep beep bats. Alright, hopefully we have good turn order. And he doesn't target Max. Good turn order for fire. Terrible damage though. Okay, Segatron finish him. Hopefully we outspeed before he kills Brad. Okay, good. That was a bad split. Bad split. Segatron doesn't gain luck either. Neither does Max. Oh boy, that was really slow. Two wizards? Okay. Since I got two wizards again, I'm saving this Lit 2/Fire 2 for undead. Beep beep. I don't have steps to take, Bat. Beep beep. I will use the Fire 2 right here. Or the next battle. Beep beep. Okay, or I won't be using it there. Beep, beep. Double bat blockade. Beep, beep. Bats. Batty bats. Beep, beep. Ooh, buddy. Ooh, joy. 9 encounter ambush. Sweet. So far, I've been poisoned twice in every single encounter that it was possible to be poisoned in. That's not good. Beep beep bat. I really need to get through a battle without getting poisoned. Thank you. Hopefully this is only a solo bull. Good. I don't appreciate the crit, but at least the crit doesn't actually matter. Beep beep bat. Don't poison me, please. No ambush. Poison. Double poison. Oh man. Beep beep bat. I've already used up more piers than I like to use for the entire dungeon. And that was only one trip through the dungeon. We could run out of piers. I have 5 piers left. How many more battles do I have with poisonous enemies? 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe I have 4 encounters left. The hopes were that those piers were going to last me for the rest of the game. That's not gonna happen. Yesterday's run I got poisoned 3? I think I only got poisoned 3 times in all of Earth Cave. Maybe it was 4. This time I got poisoned 6 times in the first trip, and I had less people alive to get poisoned. But I guess, to be fair, it was just a really bad Earth Cave. On the bright side, the escape wasn't terrible. Hey hearts, welcome on in. I also enjoy the music in this game. I mean, I go to sleep listening to it like every night. Good. Minimum Gerwolf. So Max doesn't have very good luck. Brad's luck is okay. Max has 13 luck. I almost fought this, but it's just not worth it. Even Groger is only questionably worth it. Well, hopefully, we still sub our Lich. This isn't a fast run thanks to how bad overall Earth Cave has been. Nope, I don't need that poison. Down to 4 pures. Alright, I should technically have enough to make it out of this dungeon. Which is annoying, because I was hoping to have enough for the rest of the game. Why did Max get targeted 3 times and Seagatron once, and they didn't touch Brad? Game? Brad is supposed to get hit 50% of the time. I'd appreciate it if he took 50% of the attacks. Yeah, that's not the kind of luck that I want. That's that thing that we call bad luck. Which we know that I have. I mean, yesterday was a prime example of that. Leave Max alone. Come on, game. Target somebody else on the team. He's only supposed to get hit 25% of the time. But it feels like he's tanking 70% of the attacks. Alright, at least all of the images hit Brad. I hope this fight doesn't ambush me. I really can't take the giants murdering my mage, and I really don't want to be poisoned. Okay, no ambush. No poison. The giant did target Max, but luckily he didn't get hit very hard. So I guess that's lucky. I mean, the fact that he got targeted to begin with was bad, but it's fine. Troll, leave Max alone. Thank you. Maximum ice roll. And he's dead in 2 swings. That's nice to see. We're not gonna have as fast of a Lich split as I was hoping. I don't want to heal here, but I want Max to be full health, because I don't trust these trolls. Alright, Lich, play nice. Play nice. Hopefully Max goes before Lich. Thank you. Roll high. That's not high. And if Max doesn't go before Lich, he's almost certainly dead. Good damage so far. Exactly enough damage, huh, Lich? Well, the fighters have to carry us. I need some critical hits. Not 1 point of damage. We have a chance. We need to crit, though. Come on, Brad. Big fat crit. If Lich goes, I think we die. Buddy. We made it. Does it suck that Max is dead and doesn't get the XP? Yes. But we're alive. And no, none of these fights are really going that well. I'm still alive. I did get the sub 1 hour Lich by 10 seconds. I hope that we only get a single troll here so we can fight it. We're not fighting this. We're just gonna be poor. It's unfortunate, but that's how it's gonna be. Alright, I'm actually gonna count my heals. I want to hit 50. That's 30. $40. Alright, 50. So I'm probably gonna save time on this split because I didn't buy as many heals as I normally do, since I bought extra heals earlier. So at least we get to save a bit of time here. I like how my whole entire earth cave was red. My marsh cave was terrible, my earth cave was terrible. You know what that means? That means the next terrible dungeon is gonna be Ice Cave. Just cause those are like the 3 worst dungeons. So it just seems likely that they'll all be really bad. My black mage has pretty bad luck. My second fighter has minimum luck. We're going to struggle running away. Oh, I only have 49 heals. It's fine. Alright. This first encounter can sleep lock me, which is actually very deadly. If they put my black mage to sleep, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble. It's an ambush, but luckily there's only 4. And they mostly missed. Brad, it's up to you. Thank you. But yeah, these next 2 dungeons are gonna be kind of tough. Until I get my XP grind on, running away is gonna be a challenge for this team. Acceptable damage. Ouch. Okay. If they attack Max again, he's kinda dead. That was not a great fire too. Stop attacking Max. He's not in slot 2 anymore. They don't care. Enemies just see the black mage and they just hone in. Brad didn't gain luck. Like, oh, you only have a 12.5% chance to be targeted? Nah. Let's make that a 70% sounds right. That was what, 3 of the 4 attacks went after Max? The other one went after slot 2. Slot 1 never got targeted. But if you put a black mage in slot 1, you feel it. When I was doing the reverse roll challenge, and I had a black mage in slot 1, he could not survive. Segatron, please save me. Come on, guys. This is maximum mummies. It is a very scary encounter. Once they start putting you to sleep, it hurts. Well, that was time loss, that's for sure. And now I also have to heal Max. Just heal Max to full. Call that good enough. Unfortunate that we fought 2. Ow. Cool. Ice Sword paralyzed. Secondary fighter takes a major beating. Kill off that zombie dragon, please. Good Zeus Gauntlet. If Segatron goes down, it's alright. If Brad goes down, it's also alright. All that, look at that, the black mage didn't get targeted. See, that's when the percentages actually work. That also wasn't a very good dungeon. I have not had any good dungeons now that I think about it. Every dungeon has been bad. Overworld hasn't been too bad, but dungeons have been pretty terrible. Hey Drift Shot, welcome on in. Hopefully we can start getting some good dungeons here. Alright, let's sell off this junk I don't need anymore. And I forgot to resurrect. Hey Bob. Thanks for joining us. Is Bob probably going to die? Probably. Now hopefully Bob at least lasts until the eye grind. Bob cannot end up becoming the main mage no matter what. I can't afford to make Bob turn into the main mage. If Max dies, well then I'm going to have to revive him before the Agma grind. There's no way around it. He's got 4 spells that Bob doesn't have. He's currently twice the level. Not that that's saying much. That amount of XP is easily changed. But it's mostly the spells. Hey Kill Sigil, welcome on in. First run of the day and we gotta run. It's not going great, but technically it's still at my goal time. As long as we have a good ice cave. This isn't looking good. Probably not surviving this, but we'll see. Not a very good Zeus gauntlet. Well, that's a good waste of time. Literally the worst thing that could have happened. Enemies? You know this fight is 3 to 9 enemies, right? It doesn't have to be 9. Man, that really hurt me. Not only was that cockatrice battle painful, it was slow. I probably wasted, what, 2 minutes in that fight? Goody, another ambush. I don't have enough heal potions if I'm going to get ambushed every other encounter. I only have a 12% chance to be ambushed at this level. Almost 11%. We're almost at the 11% mark. At level 9 we should be there because our luck sucks. Of course. Just what I didn't want to see. 2 frost wolves. If it was anything less, I wouldn't have to waste fire 2 here. Don't kill Bob. Oh, buddy. This run has been something else. Literally everything that could go wrong in every situation has gone wrong. Alright, we are now down to an 11% chance to be ambushed. And we've got a 9% chance for a preempt. And if you were wondering about that eye grind, yeah, we can't do an eye grind now. Goody, you paralyzed person I really needed to be up. Well, that's good. That's probably run. Every single dungeon this run went terrible. Every single dungeon. Max, we technically have a chance if you can run. I'm not gonna fire 2. Why? It doesn't have to be 2 frost wolves. It could be 0 or 1. Luckily I killed them. Man. At least that was a good fight. You know, I haven't picked up this money in a very long time. Max, you gotta run, buddy. Thank you. I thought I bought plenty of heals. But my heal potions are, kind of running out. Good turn order. Not good damage. Why'd you guys double tap Max? Okay, he lived. Man. Technically, we can still survive. I just have to get incredibly lucky on the eye fight. I need to outspeed the eye and crit him, or he melees me. If I crit, I think I'm more annoyed that I'm alive. Why? Why are we still alive? This run just wants me to suffer. We'll compare to averages because it doesn't look as bad. Ooh, buddy. Every dungeon has been bad. But somehow I'm still alive. I don't know how. I don't know why. I did say we had a chance to beat the eye if we went first and crit. And that's exactly what happened. I didn't actually think it was going to happen. Brad against the world. I don't want to do this, but I feel like I have to. I have to do the safety strat. I'd rather not do that safety strat, but I don't feel like I had a choice. But also welcome in Chenny Chen in Europe. It's been a wild run. This is the run that should not exist. Hey Cactus Owl, welcome on in. I don't know about a good morning, but it's a morning. Yeah, we're technically still going. But, oh boy, is it something special. You may not see it, but this run has been... every single dungeon has gone as bad as it possibly could. I have just barely squeezed myself through every single encounter. Hey little Billy, welcome on in. So, let's start off with the Marsh Cave. I was ahead by a lot going into Marsh Cave. If I scroll up in the splits, you know, I had a 30-second lead. And we were doing good on time. Then we just took so much damage in Marsh Cave, I ran out of heals before the wizards. We fought 2 wizards. Those 2 wizards killed off a black mage and a fighter. So I already had no hope for the run. We somehow beat Asos with 2 characters. Then, Earth Cave was slow. We got poisoned by everything. I used up all of my pures, which is why I just had to buy a ton more pures now. I made it to Lich. It wasn't great, but we made it there. Then he punched my mage, then killed my mage with exact damage. Both fighters had like 20 hit points, and they barely killed Lich right before they died. I needed to outspeed with both fighters and deal enough damage to kill him, and I did just barely that. So I just barely killed Lich, I just barely killed the wizards, I just barely killed Asos. I just barely made it through everything. Ordeals was really slow. I barely made it out of there alive after getting slept locked for 3 turns. Then I got stun locked on the zombie dragons. Then Ice Cave, I lost 2.5 minutes to the first encounter, being a 9-pack, ambushing me, petrifying my entire team. Then I got completely stun locked by a 9-pack of undead, and lost one of my characters, almost lost the whole team. Then I fought maximum frost wolves, and they just spammed frost and killed off my whole party. I made it to the eye with 1 character alive, and I only survived it because he somehow went first and crit the eye and killed him before the eye got a turn. That has been this run. Literally everywhere we've gone should have killed us off. I have no idea how many heals I have, but I have to just keep purchasing until I'm maxed. So yeah, it's been one of those mornings. And I'm probably going to be very behind after the carry split. Because, well, first of all, I have to buy like 90 plus heals here. I have to buy like 90 heals here. Which is way more than I should ever have to buy. But I used 50 heal potions in Ordeals plus Ice Cave. I should only need about 30 there, max. Why did hard power? I don't know. I only needed the soft reset there. Okay. Let's see if we can somehow make it through this. I need to have a godly Agma grind for this run to actually still have a chance. Because it looks like we are very far ahead right now. If I look at my PB. Cool. Yeah. PB makes it look like we're ahead. But we aren't. We're gonna lose all of that time in this split. I should have healed again, but it's fine. Doesn't really matter. Ow. Okay, I guess I have to heal again. So far, the worst thing that could possibly happen for the run to continue has happened in both fights in this dungeon. A safe haven, welcome on in. Underperforming light warriors is right. Alright. What we want to see is the Agma attack Brad, and that's it. We don't want to see the Agma use heat. We don't want to see the Agma attack the Black Mage. Alright, Brad's 11. That's good. Hey, McMonkey, welcome in. Agma has a 25% chance to use heat. And has approximately 1 in 3 chance of targeting Max with a melee. So far, this is a good start to the grind, which is not common for me to ever say. A normal run, I have to heal Max after every single fight. That is the 3rd fight, and I didn't have to heal Max once yet. Or was that the 4th fight? That was the 4th fight? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. This is number 5. There's a heat. We have to heal now. Still, only having to heal after a 5th fight, that's pretty good. I mean, we need a good Agma grind for this run to stay alive. Max is 11. We need to get Max to 13. Hey Braxis, welcome on in, and thanks for the luck. This run should have died already, but it's somehow enduring. It's the run that could, I guess. Every single major fight has been, well, I guess we lose, and then we somehow make it out alive. I'm going to try to not heal Max. I don't want to be risky, but I'm going to. This is actually the first run of the day. And we are past Lich. Next fight should level up Max, if he, you know, is alive. The Agma's been really kind. Real kind. Alright, I'm gonna try this. I'm going to hope I don't need to heal Max again, and I can get him to 13. I don't know. It's pretty risky to not heal him. But I need to try to save all of the time that I can. Don't go to the menu. Don't waste those heals. As long as the Agma cooperates. Okay, that's fine. A little poke is not a big deal. This Agma grind has actually gone very well. This is probably one of, if not the best Agma... Nope, not the best Agma grind I've had. I spoke too soon. But overall was still pretty good. Literally the second I start saying something. He decides to just one-shot the Black Mage out of nowhere. It's okay, the Black Mage is 12. That's minimum XP to continue on. The problem is he still needs a few good fights to hit 13. A highly reviewed, welcome on in. Thanks for the luck. We've got some work to do. Why level 13? Because at level 13 you get 2 casts of warp. And for the step route to work properly, we technically need 2 casts of warp by Mirage Tower. The sooner you get it, the better, because then you can just run from every single encounter. You need at least 12 for the waterfall, so you can cast warp out of there once. Ideally, you have a second one by the time you go to Sea Shrine. Because if you only have 1 cast of warp in Sea Shrine, after you grab the slab, you have to walk off of the mermaid floor, which costs you another 40 plus seconds. Hey, Brad, welcome in. Alright, time to heal Brad up. Okay, he's 16. Not bad. I'm gonna take this Agma, one more, and we're leaving. Max did die a little prematurely, but this was still a good Agma grind. I can't complain about how this grind went. And I normally complain about the Agma grind every time I'm here. We're going to probably be getting a very late level 18. But that's okay. Time to heal. If I get crit, let's not get crit. How about that? Not terrible damage. I need a good crit here, Brad, for you to finish him. Okay, that works. There's our 17. No luck again. So technically we can fail to flee right now, because our luck isn't perfect. It's very unlikely for us to fail to flee, but it is possible. I will put on the flame armor after I'm done walking through the lava one last time. And like I said, we were going to lose all of that time we had ahead of world record in this dungeon. I have a good amount of heals though. I'm happy about that. The Agma grind went really well. $18, huh? 18 again? Hello? I don't like those swings of 18. I got 2 of them. My first attack was almost 200 damage. We should be averaging about 80 damage a turn. I went too far south. It's okay. I'm not used to having this much money. Yep, we had a good Agma grind, Concussed Gamer. It kept the run alive. Now, we still have time to lose. Because I still have to hit 13. But at least we're still alive. There's still a chance the run can continue. AIABTU, welcome on in. Thanks for the luck. We're gonna need some luck for this run to PB. Is there a chance? Yes. Is it a good one? Not at all. If this run world records by like 2 seconds, will I be annoyed? Oh yeah. Beep, beep, Mr. Bat. That's what this run would do, just to bother me. It would PB, not even 2 seconds, like 1 second. Half a second? That's what I could see out of this run. Alright, I need to level up my black mage. Poisoned. You're not supposed to poison me here. Double poison, even. Not very many Paralisks. This is where I really hope to get a lot of XP here. But I fought minimum Paralisks, so... It was enough! It was enough. Okay. Do we see out of bounds bat? We sure don't. Oh no, we are running. Maximum cockatrice? No thanks. Of course you would. It's okay. Well, we hit 13. And it didn't cost me much time. And, if I'm lucky, and nobody dies to Kraken. I could technically get a gold split in the Kraken's, or the Chime split? Yeah, Chime. Hey Dave, welcome on in. Oh yes, I started very early today. I didn't work last night, and I was able to start nice and early. I try to start early anytime I can when I don't work. And I'll be avoiding multiple save tiles like this one right in front of me. I will be avoiding it. Ow. Because I need to delay steps later on. Skip this save tile as well. Hopefully Max can get a free heal. Everything was bad, Dave. Literally everything. If you can think of a dungeon, it was as bad as possible without me fully dying. I barely beat every single boss encounter the entire run. Every one was, well, this run is dead. And then it was like, just kidding. The only dungeon that went well was the Agma grind. Everything else was bad. The Agma grind actually made up a lot of the time I had lost in other places. I mean, I still lost time on the Agma grind because I didn't get to do an eye grind. But the Agma grind was really good overall. It was a near perfect eye grind, actually. Max died one encounter too early, but that's fine. That was manageable. Oops, Max was supposed to heal staff, but it's fine. If I don't get poisoned here and I don't take much damage, I actually have up to a minute of time save in this split. Today was even worse than yesterday's eye grind, Dave. By the time I made it to the eye, I had one character left alive. And I said, well, the only way we win is if we outspeed and I land a critical hit. Which is what happened, and I barely did enough damage to kill him. It is a run that you'd have to watch, because it's hard to believe how many things went bad, and how bad they went. Until you said something, yes, this dungeon was going pretty well. Now we're getting crit and poisoned. Seagatron is not going to survive a swing. Well, that's not good. That's literally the worst thing that Kraken could have done. I'm gonna play it safe and triple defense. Just cause I'm not even 18, and without Max as fast, the damage output is gonna be so bad. Luckily, he has not killed Seagatron yet. Goodbye, time. I know that I could have been saving time there, but it didn't happen. The Black Mage dying is perfectly fine, as long as I get my fast off first. Well, no gold split here. 'Cause we had a death. I was excited for this run because this was a run where I didn't actually have to buy any houses. So I was hoping I could save time. But sadly, no. Dr. Oon went as far away as possible. But yeah, this run should have died at the wizards. Then every single boss fight afterwards, we still should have died. But here we are, still around. That's annoying. That's annoying. That's fine. I have a plan. Just deal with the wasted house, it's fine. It's annoying that I just wasted a house. But it's not a huge deal. It just means I cannot house before the Temple of Fiends. And I have to use the inn instead. Well, this is us compared to world record. So is there hope? Yes. Do I lose time in most of the splits coming up? Also yes. But there's still a chance. Well, that's annoying. Ooh, buddy. What just happened? Goodbye, heal potions. That is a huge amount of time lost right there. I just used like 15 heals. Which means I have to re-buy those heal potions back. Not only, like, having to use them, man. We're at another dungeon. Another dungeon to lose all of our time. Cool. Let's just keep getting ambushed by everything. That's 3 ambushes in a row. Having a thief in slot 1 would give me a lower chance of being ambushed, yes. You know what a thief in slot 1 would also bring me? Less heal potions, less XP on the fighters, less chances of being alive, because there's no way your thief is going to be alive in slot 1. And the amount of difference you get from having the thief in slot 1 compared to a fighter is not that much. You know, an extra couple percentage. We didn't get ambushed there, surprisingly. in the fight that was most likely to ambush me. Alright, my black mage is not full. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm just gonna heal. I know I'm already losing time. Terrible turn order? I wouldn't call this a good run, Kane. This run is alive. If you watched this run back, you would see it is far from a good run. Literally everything went as bad as possible for me to still be able to continue the run. Every dungeon except for the volcano. The Agma grind went well. The one thing that always goes poorly for me went well. I shouldn't heal staff here. I'm not saying that the time isn't acceptable. I'm saying that the run has been very bad. If you watch what has happened in this run, you would agree about how bad every single fight has been. 2 wizards. I ended up having 2 people die. I only had 1 fighter and a black mage left after the 2 wizard fight. Then we went to Asos, and we somehow won with 2 characters. Lich, punched my black mage, then killed him with Ice 2 with exact damage. Then my fighters barely survived with about 20 or less hit points each. With a dead black mage, but we won. Oh, and Lich was about to kill them with a fire 2 if they didn't kill on that last melee swing, so they barely won. Let me do this menu first. Then after that, we went to Ordeals, and we got stun lock slept for 3 turns in a row. Barely survived that. Then we fought the Zombie D, and Zombie D fought 2 of them, got ultra paralyzed there, barely survived. We went to Ice Cave, fought 9 enemy ambush in the first encounter. Everybody got petrified. It was incredibly slow. I lost like 3 minutes. Oh, 2.5 minutes? Something like that. It was a lot. Then we got stun locked a bunch. We fought maximum frost wolves. They killed off one of my mages. Then I got ambushed by 9 undead and got stun locked. Everybody got knocked down to 20 HP. 2 characters survived it. Then I fought another frost giant battle and got killed by the frost giant. So I had 1 character left alive for the eye grind. Or I should say the eye fight. And somehow had my turn first before the eye. And crit him and killed him. Ow. There goes 9 heal potions. You know, I was very happy with my heal potion count before walking into this dungeon. I had 60 heals. I had 60 heals still. How have I used 40 heal potions? Oh, sorry. Let me fix that. More than 40 heal potions. In Sky Castle. A dungeon where I commonly use 5 or less heals. I have somehow used over 40. What is going on? Every fight is going so poorly. Hopefully, we don't get a Banesword kill, and the run dies. 'Cause, yeah, that's what the run deserves. I have 10 heals left. I used 50 heal potions in this dungeon. 50 heal potions. How is it even possible to use 50 heal potions in Sky Castle? $150 points of damage is more like a normal run. Normally, most of the damage you take is from Blue D, and then you can heal staff it up by the time you get up to the top floors. Okay, there's technically a chance. Now it's gonna be... oh boy, it's not gonna be good. I hate that this run is alive. I'm going to go light on heal potions this run. I think I'm gonna go for 80. Because I don't really have time to spare. What sucks is... I liked my world record better than this run. Even if this run does PB. The last run at least, it had a good excuse. Like, the eye grind was amazing. It saved the run. This run, I don't even know how it's alive. It's like I had a bunch of really bad luck, followed by just enough good luck to survive. I mean, the best part about if I do PB is I at least would have good splits for a comparison. That would be the best part of this run. Actually having good splits for a comparison. Imagine if I didn't use up 50 heal potions in the last dungeon. Imagine that. This run would actually have a better chance. Like, if I PB, it's not going to be by much. If I PB, if everything goes acceptable in the final dungeon, I probably PB by what, 30 seconds? The Mirage Tower cost me multiple minutes of time. That was a 3rd round Bane Sword, and I lost over a minute. Hey Pac-Man, welcome in. Alright, I'm going to be very short on heals, so if I take a lot of damage in this final dungeon, we're just gonna die to just damage. Because I'm only buying 80 heals. That's it. And also thanks again, EDU, for the assistance of heal counts. Alright, 80 heals it is. And now, instead of warping out and using a house, I get to do this. Uh-oh. I'm already losing time. I know I shouldn't be surprised, because I waste... Mirage Tower hurt me so bad. Hey Irby, welcome in. Thanks for the luck. We're gonna need a lot of it here at the end for this run to actually make it there. We lost all of our time having to buy those heal potions. Worst possible turn order? If I did PB, I would continue doing runs, yes, because this is barely a PB. If it even makes it there, like. As you see, my time is not looking very good. I need all of these other fights to go better. That was a very slow Phantom. Goody, starting off with Frost Breath. Need a Fire 2 to go off quickly. And kill all of the wolves. Nope, already failed to kill one. Failed to kill 2. Great. I need to save my heal potions. So, every fight that goes poorly like this makes us have a less and less chance of being able to PB. If Mirage Tower wasn't so awful. I can't believe I used 50 heals in Mirage Tower. Cool. Double purple worms. Uh-oh, that might not be enough damage. Guys? Stop losing time on every encounter, please. I don't have time to spare. My PB had a solid end. I'm gonna risk it and not heal. If we die here, we die here. Of course, it's maximum Earth Elementals. Hopefully they don't hit at max. Or Segatron, for that matter. Okay, enough with hitting him. Seriously. He wasn't the guy I was worried about healing. It was Max. Well, I guess we get a YOLO Banesword Chaos. This run. That's my last pure. Cool, we're ambushed. Come on, Brad, go before you're paralyzed. 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. Well, that's a heavy nuke. One-shot Lich. Alright, so we're not gonna grab the Masamune. Because it's not even worth it. We're just gonna try to Bane Sword Chaos, because we don't have the damage output without having the second fighter alive. Could I theoretically solo Chaos with one fighter? Sure. But boy, would he have to be very, very kind to me. That's not a good start. Okay, one more of those, she goes down. It's gotta be a good 250 though. We're finally 19. If I get poisoned in this encounter, it's gonna be bad. I could get poisoned here. Luckily only 2 lobsters. No poison. Alright, how risky should I be for the next floor? Should I be super risky? Or only a little risky? Because we could YOLO sorcerers. That is true, we're already trying the Bane Sword Chaos. Alright, good first turn. Good second turn. Good third turn. Well, Kraken 2 knows that this run is not the run, so he's letting us pass. But I guess it's true, I need to save every second I can. Yes, we could have used this Kraken 2 yesterday. Even though we're not doing any damage to him. At all. Like, come on. Deal damage, thank you. Defense, fast. The Bane Sword is still on Segatron, yes. I will worry about it if we make it there. We still have to get past Tiamat, and then, more importantly, the next random encounter. Once I do that, I'll fix my items for the final fight. Alright, so one more good hit should take her out, right? It's gotta be a good hit, though. Nope, that's not a good hit. There we go. Don't even bother healing. Okay, first strike. Yes, it was gold because I didn't grab the Masamune. Oh yes, this is a very long shot. But it could happen. 3 and 256. Of course you would. Alright, give Max maximum defense. Then throw heal potions / heal staff. Alright, Chaos Punch, max a lot. Nope, that's the wrong item. Bane Sword, here's the chance. Ouch, I don't want to see skills. Why did he have to start off by punching Brad? That was literally the worst thing he could have done. Nope. Chaos was a jerk. Chaos was a jerk. Every time there's a chance of world record, I always have Chaos do the very worst thing he could do in turn 1. The worst thing he could do? Punch one of my characters, and he always opens with punching on me. I don't know why. Just every single time he does that to me. Okay, so what we're going to do here is give 1 kill credit to Chaos and 1 kill credit to Pre-Lich, but put a minus here because we could have hit that as a world record. So I'm going to give both. The minus means that I don't count the death on Lich as the number for the total, but I'm giving both of them the credit because that just makes sense, because they both had their shot, and I can just throw a minus on there so we have the same total number of runs. Chaos had to be a jerk again, too.